What is that? What is that? What is that? So if you saw my last video, you know that I recently picked up an Xbox One X. But, yeah, little problem. It doesn't work. So I was going to do a video on this Xbox One X, and, autofocus isn't working. I was going to do a video on this Xbox One X, but, come on, autofocus, whatever. So I was going to do a video on this Xbox One X, but it's not working. So unfortunately, not much we can do about that. The disc tray is kind of screwy in it. So I'm going to have to take it back and exchange it. But instead of exchanging it, I've decided I'm just going to take it back and get my money back. Because what I got instead is something just as black, but much newer and much X-ier. So instead of the One S, we've got the Xbox Series X. Yes, that's right, the brand new console. But first, gotta make sure that this is clean and perfect. So this is the brand new, not brand new, it's 2 years old, what am I kidding? But the soon-to-be more expensive Xbox Series X. As many of you know, with the recent news, Sony increased the price of the PlayStation 5 in some territories, and it is basically all but confirmed that Microsoft will be doing the same thing with the Xbox Series consoles. Although we don't know if that's going to hit the States. It skipped the States with the PS5. Maybe it'll do the same thing with the Series X. But as of now, this could potentially jump up to like $550 or $600. So right now, it's $499 still, just like it was at launch. And it's been 2 years after launch. This is a brand new system. Still has the seal on it. Still has the factory seal, which we are going to break. I was very adamant, because we got this from Rent One. My fiance insisted on getting it from Rent Ones, but supposedly the agreement that we agreed is that we are only paying, even after all the payments, full retail, not a penny more. So if they try to make us pay more for it, then yeah, they're gonna hear from our lawyers. So gonna pull this. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. So we're going to pull that off. Okay, we just dropped that on the carpet. That's okay. Power your dreams. So, this is the brand new Xbox Series X. How does this open? I assume this would open just like all the other Xboxes. Is this torn? I can't tell. I actually don't know how to open this. Oh, there's one. Oh, I see. There's one on each side that you have to pull. Okay. This is the full experience. Okay. Now, the reason why I chose the Series X over the PlayStation 5 is because right now, I really like what Microsoft is doing. They're being really, really pro-consumer compared to what Sony's doing. And it's a complete 180. I know, Xbox 180, right? It's a complete 180 from the previous generation. You know, back in, obviously we all know that in the last generation, Xbox One got off to a very rough start, and PlayStation 4 was the obvious choice. But then once we got the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro and the One S and the PS4 Slim, it seemed like that Microsoft was really turning the tides, and that is carried over into the Series X. So, plus, let's be honest, the Series X out of the two is the only one that fits in my entertainment center, which, how do I open this? This is... Okay, so I gotta pull 2 more of these tabs. Okay. This is... I've never watched a Series X unboxing. Ever. Well, okay, that's a lie. I probably watched one back in 2020, but, you know, it's been a while. So, I'm figuring this out. Adhesive all over the box. Because they just couldn't use something that doesn't leave adhesive on the box. I guess so much for the box collection. Stick all these to the rug. Okay, so now can we just... How does this work? Okay, do I assume... Okay. Whoa! Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Again, I have not I don't think I've ever watched an unboxing of this. I would have remembered this. Power Your Dreams. So here's this monolith looking bitch. So, okay. Empower Your Dreams. Look at all those holes. Let's see. Very nice holes. We've got, okay, is this a code? Getting started. I'm just telling you how to use it. Telling you how to insert batteries, which if you need to know how to insert batteries, I don't know what to tell you. But, yeah. I know, wow, right? Look at this box. It's like a monolith, like etched into stone. This is wild. Obviously, this is the stand that's built into the bottom. These are the little nipples that it sits against the entertainment center. Or at least that's what it will in our setup. Don't drop it! Don't drop it! Don't drop it! This thing is beefy. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. It's in plastic, so it's not gonna get hurt. It's like a perfectly wrapped Christmas present. But we're gonna start off with all the boring shit. So, I mean, not necessarily boring. We've got our 4K HDMI cable. Very nice. It looks like rabbit ears from an old TV. That's cute. Got our power cable. So, even though this is super powerful, we did not go back to the power brick from the 360 and the fat Xbox One, so that's good. Got another one of these. Very nice. Owner's manual. No, actually, I'm wrong. Product and regulatory guide. I know a lot of people gloss over this stuff, but for me, I like to look at everything. You know, let's get the full experience of everything that's in here. And it appears that is mostly it. I don't believe there's much else. God, this packaging is so cool. I love the presentation of this. I was not expecting this at all. See, this, when I'm paying $500 for a piece of tech, this is what I want to see for the presentation. This is good. This is really good. This is quite the step up from previous consoles like the Xbox 360 and Xbox One S, all that stuff. So I don't think I'm going to need this, but yeah, okay. This is pretty self-explanatory. Now the Xbox app, I already know how to do all that, so we'll stick that back in there. And that, of course, I don't need that. Got this little, it looks like a mask, something you'd wear, presumably. I don't know how well this is showing up on camera, but we can see that. I don't know if that doesn't, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. That doesn't look like a mask at all. Well, either way. Back to this. Oh, my phone is being stupid. Alright. So, I think we're done with this. Alright. Here's the new Series X controller. Of course, all my Xbox One controllers are on the entertainment center, so I can't... Babe, will you grab me one of those controllers real quick? So I can compare it real quick to the Series X controller, even though it's mostly the same. Just give me the blue one, that's fine. Alright, so here's an Xbox... Thank you, babe. So here's an Xbox One controller, and here's the Series X controller. Because I've never actually held a Series X controller, so this will be pretty interesting. First impressions, I mean, the shape is exactly the same. For some reason, it feels a little bit better to me, but that might just be a placebo. Maybe these are a little bit different. But yeah, so unfortunately, the thumbsticks, which were my least favorite part of the Xbox One controller, I actually greatly prefer the 360 thumbsticks, even the PlayStation 4 and 5 thumbsticks now. But they're still okay. Do they feel any different? No, they're the same. Still got that texture that if you have really greasy hands, skin crap can get stuck in there, but not a big deal. Haven't found it to be too big of an issue on the Xbox One. So the bumpers and the triggers are pretty much identical to what they are on the second generation Xbox One controller. You know, when they made the bumpers actual buttons and put a headphone jack on it. Of course, that's still here. We've got USB Type-C now. So if you're rocking the plug-in charge kits, or if you run out of batteries and you just want to plug it in, you can plug it in with Type-C. So that's great. And the good news is that Series X controllers and Xbox One controllers are interchangeable, at least from everything that I've read, but I will test that. But obviously, the Xbox One controllers work on Series X, but they say it's recommended that you don't use them on Series X games, but I honestly can't see why. They look the same to me. It's not like there's a touchpad or anything. Oh, we do have an extra button for, what is that, upload?
It's the share button.
Oh, did it not have a share button before?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I'm thinking a PS4 controller. Yeah, the PS4 controller had a share button. This didn't. Okay, that's cool. There's a share button. I don't know if I ever used that. Is the button the same? Yeah, the button's the same. Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's any differences that I'm not... I mean, it's not any worse, obviously. Oh, that D-pad feels like shit. The D-pad on the Xbox One controller is actually really nice. I mean, at least by Xbox standards, the bar for Xbox One D-pads are usually not very high. This feels like a weird satellite. This almost feels like a return to the Duke D-pad on, like, it looks identical to the controller S on the original Xbox, which I don't have any right now. But it feels more like the Duke D-pad if it had like micro switches in it. I like the noise it makes. Okay, whatever. You don't care about the controller. That hasn't changed all too much. What's really important is the fact that it comes with batteries. No. The console. Although we do get some nice Duracells. So that'll come in handy for whenever we run out of batteries. Although I personally generally use rechargeable batteries. For some reason, people always like to argue about Xbox controllers and complain about the batteries. You can get rechargeable AA's. It's better than the PlayStation controllers because the batteries are actually user accessible and they're universal batteries. So when your PS3 and PS4 and eventually PS5 batteries die in the controllers, you don't have to tear apart the controller to replace it, or many people will just throw it away, and that contributes to e-waste, and that's really bad. So I applaud Microsoft for sticking with batteries, although it would be nice if they included a battery with it, because that's the best of both worlds. Because then if you want a rechargeable battery, you can have the exact same rechargeable battery experience you have on PlayStation, but it's user accessible, so if it dies, you can swap it really easily, which is perfect. So that's actually one thing I've always liked about Xbox controllers. But now that they're Type C, the charging port issue isn't too bad anymore. We're finally done with micro USB, unless you're still rocking an old controller, of course. But I've literally never plugged one of these in. And focus, you pickle. You get the idea. All right. It's his pretty little this thing's heavy. So we're gonna unbox it from the top, or unwrap it. Ooh, there's the green. Oh, that's perfect. It's literally facing towards us. Isn't that cute? Very nice. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. This is one of those things where it's like, you think it's going to be smaller, then you think it's going to be bigger, then you're not sure. Okay, let me make sure not to drop this. Okay. Xbox. Okay. So, of course, with the stand and with the vent on the top, it's primarily... Oh, wow, did I just scratch my table? These corners. That's what I don't like about... Oh, that's really stable. I couldn't even scoot it. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. So, that'll be very stable in the air. You can't even see it. It's just a black monolith. My camera is really not doing it justice. I might have to shine a light on this. You get the idea. There is a disc tray right there, sync button, or no, eject button, one USB, a sync button for the controllers. The power button's right up here. Feels the same as the previous. Why is this not focusing? This is really, you're ruining this, Note 9. Whatever. So I'm gonna have this in my entertainment center with it against, obviously, the bottom and this side, since it has the little... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Since it has the little nipples right here for if you want to lay it on its side. So if you want to lay it on its side, you of course can. We know this already. It looks ugly like this, though, with the base. So obviously, and plus the cooling vent, since the cooling vent is on the top, you're going to want it standing up so it can vent the heat off. Both the PS5 and the Series X are really designed to be standing up. But this is much better for either orientation, the PS5, in all honesty. The PS5 is just much more awkward. But it's also more unique looking, so take your pick. And funny story, there actually is a mini fridge you can buy at Target that looks like this for like $100. So I'm probably going to buy one at some point. And this actually fits in it. Of course, you don't need to cool it in the fridge. It doesn't get that hot. No red ring of death here, thankfully. But it's just a fun little thing. And yeah, this is not showing up on camera. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hook this up to my entertainment center. I don't have a 4K TV right now because our 4K TV literally just died like 3 days ago. So we're using the 1080p one for the bedroom. So we'll have to buy a new 4K TV later on. So the review of the Series X will be postponed probably a week or two versus what it normally would be, because I actually have to test it on a 4K TV. So unless I do a separate video on using it on a 1080p TV to see how the experience is for those of you that still have 1080p and still are buying a next-gen console. So yeah, we will go ahead and plug it in with the provided cables and see what the experience is like. One thing I forgot to show is the back of it. Ugh. Yeah, it sucks that it makes that noise, but at least you know that it's really stable. Of course, all the ports are on the bottom, so trying to show this is a little tricky. But we've got our expansion card port for those drastically overpriced expansion cards that I will probably not use. There's HDMI out. Yes, HDMI out. Oh yeah, because there is no HDMI in anymore, unlike the One X. So there's no... Can't run your cable box through this, can't run anything through this. Not like I ever did that on the One X anyways, because I just kept forgetting it was there. Got the power port, Ethernet, which I believe is gigabit. We've got 2 more USBs. I believe these are all USB 3.0 or 3.1. And then, of course, there's a USB on the front. I kind of wish there was another one, just 2, you know. So I think 2 is kind of the optimal amount to have on the front. We kind of learned that with a 360 and the later versions of the PS3. But whatever. I guess 1 is sufficient. It's not like I ever really used the front USB port anyways, but it's still good to have it for when you want to plug something in. So that's fair. And real quick, we'll do a size comparison between... Oh, wow, this is... Honestly, if I dropped this, I'd be more worried about breaking my table. This thing is a boat anchor. So we compare this to the previous X, the Xbox One X, which of course they're both black, so it's really hard to get this on camera. Oh, I just realized I had this upside down. That could have ended poorly. But the height is pretty much identical. Like the Series X, yeah, they're the same. Yeah, that's the same. So if the Xbox One X fits in your setup, then the Series X will, at least in terms of this length dimension. Of course, the One X is much thinner, and it's much longer this way, obviously, so, you know, take with that what you will. As far as the length, it's about 2.5 Xbox One X's for the Series X as far as the height when you're laying it horizontally. And I think that click I heard was me pushing that button. So that's that. And where I put in the entertainment center, you'll see how it compares to an Xbox 360. So we'll go ahead and plug this in. All right, so the Series X is hooked up. We can also see it's basically the same height as a fat Xbox 360. So that's fun. So we're going to go ahead and I assume the controller is already synced. I put batteries in it. Let's see what this does. Same noise. You'd think that it'd be a new noise for the new console, but I guess not. Looks like a movie studio intro, as opposed to like a game console. Doesn't even say Series X, it just says Xbox. Okay. Not complaining necessarily. Although I honestly did like the startup better on the Xbox One. But who cares? What's important is the gameplay. And of course we got to set it up with the Xbox app. So that's pretty much that. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up. So I just realized I have to use my phone to set up the app, and my phone is what I'm filming on, so I'm going to have to stop this video. But hey, from what I understand, the user interface is nearly identical to the Xbox One, so yeah, nothing new there. But since obviously if you saw my last video, then you would know that I did get my first Series X game, even though I at the time didn't, even though I literally yesterday did not have plans to get a Series X. But that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So let's hope that this doesn't suck. Because in traditional Call of Duty fashion, usually it's like Windows releases. You know, once in a while you get one that's really good, and then the rest of them just kind of suck. So, but hey, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully it didn't work on my One X. So hopefully it will work on the series. So yeah, this was Intellitech Mobile signing out with my unboxing and quick setup of the Xbox Series X. I got used to saying X, so I just got used to saying One X. These names. Honestly, they should have just called it Scarlet. Anyways, this is Intellitech Mobile signing out. Please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting if you really enjoyed this video. And if you didn't, well, there are buttons for that as well. Anyways, this is Intellitech Mobile signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you all have a good one. And also, if you have a Series X and you just recently picked one up like I did, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what other people are experiencing with this, especially the late adopters that are only just now getting it. And hey, if you've had one since launch or if you have one for a few months, let me know as well. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the Xbox Series X. I will be doing a full review on this at a later date in honor of its 2-year anniversary, so that'll be fun to watch, and subscribe if you want to see that. Okay? I am out. I'm going to play Modern Warfare after installing 17 years worth of updates and installation. Anyways, have a good one. Peace.